On his debut test, Umar Akmal scored a century with 129 runs against New Zealand. Boris Brath from West Indies scored a ton against Australia in his debut test. Alvaro Peterson from South Africa scored 100 runs on his debut test against India. Suresh Raina scored 120 runs against Sri Lanka in his debut test. The skipper of New Zealand, Kane Williamson, scored 131 runs against India on his debut test. From West Indies, K.A. Edwards scored 110 runs against India. From Australia, Shaun Marsh scored a fabulous innings of 141 runs against Sri Lanka. Abdul Hassan scored 113 runs against West Indies on his debut test. Faf du Plessis scored 110 runs not out against Australia on his debut test. From New Zealand, H.D. Rutherford scored 171 runs against England on his debut test. Shikhar Dhawan scored 187 runs against Australia in his debut innings. Rohit Sharma scored 177 runs against West Indies on his debut test. All-rounder Jimmy Neesham scored 137 runs not out against Australia. S. Ramsdale scored 101 runs not out against West Indies. From Australia, Adam Ward scored 130 runs not out against West Indies on his debut innings. Stephen Cook from South Africa scored 115 runs against England. Keaton Jennings from England scored 112 runs on his debut test against India. Kiwi wicketkeeper Tom Blunder scored 107 runs not out against West Indies in his debut innings. K. O'Brien scored 118 runs against Pakistan in his debut innings. The opener from India, Prithvi Shaw, scored 134 runs against West Indies on his debut test. English wicketkeeper batsman Ben Foakes scored 107 runs against Sri Lanka in his debut test. Abid Ali scored a ton against Sri Lanka on his debut test with 109 runs not out. Kyle Mayer smashed a double century on his debut test against Bangladesh. From Sri Lanka, Pathum Nissanka scored 103 runs against West Indies. Devon Conway scored a fabulous double century against England on his debut test. Shreyas Iyer scored 105 runs against New Zealand on his debut test. In his debut test, Zakir Hasan scored 100 runs against India. Lorcan Tucker from Ireland scored 108 runs on his debut test against Bangladesh. And the most recent one is Yashasvi Jaiswal from India, who scored 170 runs against West Indies in his debut test.